The greatest threat to your soul isn't something obvious, but something quietly living in your habits, your feed, your friendships, sneaking in through open doors you didn't know were unlocked. The truth is, ungodly influence doesn't always shout. It whispers, it flatters, it disguises itself in good intentions, in culture, in compromise. And unless you're ruthlessly watchful, it will shape your thinking, dull your discernment, and rewire your convictions. That's why Proverbs 4 verse 23 warns, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." So how do you guard what matters most? You start with this: watch what feeds your mind. Every scroll, every song, every conversation either sharpens your spirit or weakens it. Romans 12 verse 2 says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." But you can't renew a mind that's constantly marinating in trash. If your playlists glorify rebellion, if your favorite shows normalize sin, don't be shocked when holiness feels boring. That's influence, subtle, seductive, and dangerous. Second, watch your circle. Not everyone close to you is safe for your spirit. 1 Corinthians 15 verse 33 doesn't stutter. "Do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character." It doesn't say might corrupt. It does. You become like who you consistently walk with. Lot lived near Sodom, and over time he tolerated what once would have terrified him. That's the slow fade. Maybe your friends mock purity, dismiss conviction, or constantly feed bitterness. You don't need to cut everyone off, but you do need boundaries sharper than a sword. Proverbs 13 verse 20 puts it plainly, "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm." Third, watch what you justify. One of the enemy's slickest strategies is to make you explain sin away. "It's not that bad," you whisper to yourself. "At least I'm not doing what they're doing." But partial obedience is disobedience in God's eyes. Saul thought sparing the Amalekite king was harmless. God called it rebellion. The moment you start justifying what God condemns, you're no longer walking in the light. Isaiah 5 verse 20 warns us, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil." If that verse feels like a mirror, it should. Fourth, watch your silence. When you're too afraid to speak truth, you've already bowed to influence. Daniel didn't just survive Babylon, he stood out in it, because he wouldn't eat what defiled him, wouldn't worship who they worshipped, wouldn't kneel to culture. But today, silence is the new cowardice. If you won't speak truth in your group chat, in your workplace, in your own home, ungodly influence isn't just around you, it's inside you. Ezekiel 3 verse 18 says, "If you see the wicked and fail to warn them, their blood I will require at your hand." This isn't a game. Your voice could be someone's last warning. Finally, watch your hunger. You will always be influenced by what you crave. If your soul isn't feasting on the word, it will snack on the world. Jesus didn't just quote scripture in the wilderness, he lived it. "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God," Matthew 4 verse 4. But you can't fight the serpent with a verse you read 2 months ago. Your appetite drives your direction. Samson craved Delilah more than obedience, and it cost him everything. What are you craving? You want to stay clean in a world covered in compromise? Then you better be alert, armored, and absolutely unwilling to be casual about your calling. The influence that doesn't look dangerous is usually the most deadly, so test everything, filter everything. Cut off anything that weakens your fire. And never forget, what you tolerate today you may be trapped by tomorrow. If you're not deliberately becoming more like Christ, you're slowly becoming more like the culture, and most people won't notice the shift until it's too late. So ask yourself this right now: who or what is shaping me, and is it worth my soul? Hit that pause. Reflect. And if you're ready to walk in power, in clarity, in holiness, stay close. This is where the fire stays burning. If this message resonates with you, like, comment, and share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe so you don't miss the truth that's coming next. Let's spread light together. You're part of this mission.